that this is a special day because we got all y'all here on time. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? And usually black people come on time in a place where they're not used to having a lot of lectures. But if it's a place that's commonplace, you know, we will put on the flyer. If we want black people to get here at 3, we'll put 2. If we want them to get here at 4, we'll put 3. You see, so this is amazing because I say, well, 3. I say, well, I don't know, you know, because we always press for time. And I said, well, I don't know, you know, they might start rolling in about 4 or 5 or what have you. I did one back in the 1990s in Philadelphia, and I guess because some of them were freed slaves. We announced 2 o'clock. They came at 7 o'clock. And they just strolled in like, I'm here, and like they're supposed to be on time. You know? And but it was some kind of frequency. Because they all came in, maybe they got it wrong, they all came in at 2. So that was the ultimate CP time. You know. But I think certain things happen for certain reasons. Like I said, nevertheless, it's still a great time. We're going to get into this type of stuff. We're going to deal with the Obama thing as well as other things from the spiritual perspective. As you know, concurrent to what you see in the physical world, there's always some stuff going on in the spirit world. And so as a result, that's where I come in, is to give you that other dimension on what's going on. And believe me, in the spirit world and our existence and everything, you need to rejoice. Everything is positive. As a matter of fact, we're going to explain how everything that you think is a conspiracy, they're nothing but pawns to the spirit world. You see what I'm saying? To the spirit world. We're going to go into that. You see, whenever you're thinking it's a global conspiracy and we're going to be in trouble and we're going to do all of this, in the spirit world, it's copacetic. It's almost as if to say that everything is right on track. So I'm here today to give you our agenda, the spiritual agenda, other than the fear. Because you got so much stuff that's bombarding us when it comes to fear, you see. And that shuts down everything. But we have to start looking at a bigger picture. And when you're looking at a bigger picture, there was a profound statement done about some Buddhist monk, and they had all this death, and mayhem, and killing, and deception going on all around him. People just, you know, genocide. And he was walking through the field of bodies like nothing, like it was a beautiful sunny day. And he just passed right by it with ease. And when I first read that about 15 years ago, I said, this is horrible. This can't be. This is horrible. You know, this Buddhist monk is going through all the pain and suffering. You see what I'm saying? But he was looking at a bigger picture. These things we have to come by. It has to be a form of prophecy. Even Bob Marley said that in Natural Mystic. Many more have to die. You see what I'm saying? Don't ask me why. So my point here is what we're trying to deal with here is we're trying to deal with what is going on the spiritual agenda, which is our agenda. You see what I'm saying? Our agenda. So we're going to get into a couple of things. Let me get out my notes, and we'll trade both sides. We'll tell you things that's actually going on. That's actually going on as far as what might appear to be a conspiracy. And then we'll go into things that's behind that is right on time. Now, as you notice, I'm wearing the top hat because the entity arose called Baron Samedi. So in the spirit world, there's the resurrection of Baron Samedi. I'm going to get into this science. I don't want to go too far because that's going to be the crux of the lecture. With the help of the skull and bones. You see, they did something for them, and doing something for them hooked us up. see? Now don't let nobody fool you. One thing about these people who rule our lives, they're not like us. We will hang around in outmoded religions and outmoded strategies and politics for centuries. And it don't work. We just become basically stuck in the dogma of it. You see, but the people who rule our lives, one thing you got to give them credit for. If it don't work, they will throw it in the trash can of history. See what I'm saying? So don't let nobody fool you. When they're getting down with something, they're getting down with it because they have studied, you see, the occult magic and the whole concept of the esoteric teachings. And when they do things for it to work. They do things to get results. We are the ones that won't, you see what I'm saying, do things that don't get results. And I'm not just talking about black people, I'm just talking about the masses, period. You see what I'm saying? We got to get out of this concept that white people just walking around this worldwide conspiracy against us. You know what I'm saying? In order to rule a conspiracy, you got to have thousands of white people, deaf, dumb, and blind too. You understand what I'm saying? So this whole concept that white denotes the enemy as far as a person conspiring to you, you never see the people as the real enemies. You see what I'm saying? That's conspiring against you. So anytime you see a white face, you don't need it. We have to get out of this blueprint that registers enemy on that particular aspect that he's conspiring against me. You understand what I'm saying? We're taking now we know that in the 1930s when you saw a white person in down south, you understand that there was a system was put together that you better drop your head. And so we're still stuck on that mode. You understand what I'm saying? But in order to control the people in a sophisticated society, 80% of white folks got to be deaf, dumb, and blind and in the mix too. And there's no better time in the world we saw it happen at 9/11. You see what I'm saying? And believe me, I'm in an airport every month. And it used to be more than that in the 90s. And we are not in those airports. You see, you get 2 black per 100 whites on a plane. And believe me, when you go in that airport, they got white folks on lockdown. They better not look the wrong way. Because the first thing they did is secure the perimeter. That's the first thing you do in warfare. You secure the perimeter. So what is the perimeter in our society? The airports. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get out of that particular paranoia on the aspect of just regular people in this citizenship or whatever that is conspiring against you, and it don't even go that way. The people who conspire against us, we have no idea who they are. You see what I'm saying? So that's one thing that we have to get out of this particular, the fantasy of this worldwide machine. You see, because that produces paranoia. And I'm telling you that in so many words, I'm thinking to the particular point, you need to really get out of studying conspiracy, period. You see what I'm saying? Because, and I say this, in Atlanta back in 1994, in 3 months they had about 20 conspiracy books came out. And I said, wait a minute. In the 1970s, Robert Anton Wilson used to be writing on this stuff. Most of his books was fictional about the Illuminati. And he wrote the Neil Wilkerson's book, Illuminoids. And in the 1960s, one of the only books that came out was None Dare Call It Conspiracy, Gary Abbott. Then you had Bill Cooper's book come out in 1990. And then in 1994, we get 20 conspiracy books. And I said, wait a minute. These must be the conspirators putting out these books. You see what I'm saying? That's a part of the conspiracy, to make you paranoid. You understand what I'm saying? So you forget your agenda. And your agenda is the spirit realm, not religion, the spirit realm. As long as you don't turn to your magic. You see, so now we have conspiracy buffs. Now we have conspiracy buffs. You see what I'm saying? And basically, you come to get your next fix. I was in Chicago in February, and I did a lecture, and some of the people was mad because I didn't talk about the concentration camps. And I told them the concentration camps is a conspiracy. The Rex 84 King Alpha plan was put out by the government. Don't you think that anybody that ever wanted to do anything to you, they would just do it? They wouldn't announce it and put it on the paper and then pass it out to the black community or any community for you to read. For the mere fact that you got it in your hand means it's a conspiracy. that you will read that you're falling right into the traps that they want you to fall into. So the point I'm trying to make here is a lot of the conspiracy stuff is to deal with fear and mislead you, or it's made for distraction so you don't never tap into your magic, your traditions, your agenda. What is your new agenda? You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about a skeleton man with a top hat on running concurrent with Barack Obama. Now I want to show this also too, but it's not by mistake. If you look very close at this picture, and I'll cut off the lights in a few minutes and show you this. As a matter of fact, I can do it now. I can do this now. Y'all all right? Yes. Okay, good. You look very close at this picture. This particular picture was done 16 years ago. First of all, put this one up first. Okay. Cut off the lights right quick. So I need a light man, because we're dealing with some very ancient material, ancient stuff here. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think it's the bottom one. Is it? What says off? Okay, yeah. This is a picture done 16 years ago by the Santeria community, commissioned by Magine Gonzalez Whippler. They went to the Santeria community, which, as you know, is the Europe, or transplanted into the Latin America, South America, Cuba, what have you, Puerto Rico, what have you. And they said, we want to draw the Orishas, which is the gods in from the West African pantheon. That also comes from the ancient Egyptian pantheon. We want to draw the Orisha. So when they got to the god Shango 16 years ago, he comes up with Barack Obama's face. This is a 16-year-old picture now, maybe 17 years, because the book came out 16 years ago. I want you to look real close at this. Push it over a little bit. This is Shango. Look at the ears. 16 years ago now, but the word Barak means what? It means lightning. It's in the book of Judges. It means lightning. Who is the god of lightning in West Africa and in the South America? Shango. But why is it when they told him to do a vision, they told him to go and look into the spirit world and draw what they see, and they come up with Barack Obama's face? I'm just trying to say, you can say there's some, a little bit of stuff, but that's very amazing to say that this was 16 years ago. If they're looking into the spirit world, they pretty much got that kind of accurate. Don't you agree? Yeah. Look at it now. Look at this. Put the other one on. Even down to his hair. Look at this stuff. Look at the hair.
Sure, you're right.
Look at the hair.
Right, the hairline.
Look at the hairline. See what I'm saying? Right. So my point here is, we are in an appointment with destiny. For the simple fact here is, we're showing you something in the spirit world, so no matter what you thought or whoever brought him there, and I'm quite sure the spirit world said he's going to need help from the secret societies to bring him there and to set the whole thing up, but nevertheless, this was a plan, you see what I'm saying, done hundreds of years ago. We know this because of the simple fact, a sister got off a plane in 1978, and another African sister made it a point to come up to her and start talking to her. Well, first of all, Africans just don't come up and just start talking to black Americans or African Americans or whatever you want to call it, lack of a better word. You see what I'm saying? Out of the blue. And so she paused, she remembered it because this sister was adamant about telling her story, how they have a prophecy in Africa that her father told her of a prophecy they had in Africa that one day there would be a black president. That was 30 years ago. You see, 10 years before, 40 years ago, when Bobby Kennedy said, I suspect in 40 years we will have a black president, or the week before he died. You see what I'm saying? The Hopi Indians had the same thing. And a lot of the black people coming out of slavery, as far as Harriet Tubman, and a lot of them had visions of a black president. You see what I'm saying? It's just that between 1865 and 2005, we didn't document things on some things of slave narrative, so those particular prophecies got lost. You understand what I'm saying? The particular prophecies got lost. But my point here is that is miraculous. So now, since we have introduced this and brought it to the spirit world, you understand what I'm saying? It's above the conspiracy world. See what I'm saying? It's above the conspiracy world. It's above race. And it's above your social conditioning. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to get into it's only being a sign. Barack Obama's not going to do anything that nobody else who had a job did. It's just a job. But we're going to get into the inspiration aspect on what that's going to trigger. Y'all all right? Yes. You see, so you must understand this, and I told you the last time I was here, he was a beacon and a sign. The physical world can never evolve into the end result of what the spiritual world is going to be. This is only an illusion. And only in this matrix of this particular illusion, they have to give you symbols, signs, and figures of the messianic realm, but there can never be a Messiah in the physical world other than the symbol, because the messianic act itself is the end or the destruction of what we call the physical world. That is the messianic act. If you understand hardline metaphysics or the esoteric realm, this is just going to disappear, which it tells you right in the Bible. These heavens and these hells will fade away. You see what I'm saying? We're going to get into all of that, you know, and I'll save your question. I'm going ahead of myself. Now I want you to cut back on the lights so that we can pour some libations. Now I usually have the big bottles, but I was watching the Travel Channel, and they went down to Jamaica, and they was talking about that the gods or the spirits love. This is overproof rum. This is by Ray and Nephew, so that's a W-R-A-Y. That would still be Ray. W-R-A-Y. That means the W is silent, right? According to the English language. So that's Ray and Nephew, W-A-R-Y, and Nephew, overproof rum. You see what I'm saying? And I went and bought a big bottle of Palo Viejo. And then I looked up and I said, oh, that's the rum I saw on the Travel Channel. They did a whole thing on Jamaica. So, and the woman was saying, this is the one we really use for the gods. And they said, when we really want to get funky, we got some stuff that's against the law. They got some stuff that's like 200 proof. So what you want is some overproof rum, especially when you're dealing with this Baron Samedi that we're gonna get into. You know, that we're gonna get into. And so, so we're gonna pour libations right quick so we can get down with the order of the day. Like I say, I have pictures, the things that we're gonna deal with, and you're in luck. For those particular people that have terminal disease and stuff, we took a picture of a sister, down to a sister that was, I think she only had maybe a month to live with cancer. Put this picture over her bed, and the cancer went into remission. Now, I did this lecture in Detroit. Then the next week I did one in Cleveland, and they sent a message. But I'm going ahead of myself. They sent a message. So we have different ones. We have the Obama picture or the Shingo picture on sale. We got several altars. I had to pay about $100 for the University of Chicago to get this altar. And whoever possesses this altar, it's almost like having a magical talisman in your house. Because this is no different than having the Ark of the Covenant. You see what I'm saying? Which you know, which is nothing but chest of Osiris. There ain't no mystery about it. They used to build these chests of Osiris in ancient Kemet, or ancient Egypt. And so the myth or the legend of the chest of Osiris was later on preserved through us based on the Hebrew lore of the Ark of the Covenant. But it's not by no means in origin with the Hebrews. You see what I'm saying? It gets its origin from the chest of Osiris. You know, Osiris was cut up into, 14 pieces and put in a chest. Or he was first put in a chest before they cut him up into 14 pieces. But anyway, so this is what that's what that Ark of the Covenant stuff is. You know they had some white boys did a made an Ark of the Covenant. Some students in the 1960s made an Ark of the Covenant at the University of Chicago, and it started thundering and lightning. And the government came in with full force, SWAT teams and everybody, army, straight up whatever they had, came in and made them tear it down based on the dimensions of this type of stuff. Well, this picture right here possesses the same type of information, which, because I'm talking about this, I need to get into the magic of that, because they sent a message. Y'all all right?
Yeah.
Okay, so they said, well, how do I know this stuff works? They sent a message. And believe me, it's okay for you to rejoice for Obama. Don't let nobody fool you. It's your reaction. That's the reaction that counts. You see what I'm saying? So my point here is no matter what transpired to get him there, if it's already prophetic, that means that your reaction or your response to it is paramount. See where I'm coming from? So, but you must understand that your reaction should not necessarily be based on what he's going to do for you politically, because no one can do anything for you politically. You see what I'm saying? This is a capitalistic society. Let's be real here. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that. That's the deception in your mind. But it's what is happening to you spiritually that the spirit world would have to have an alignment. Same kind of alignment they have in the celestial world. So you got to look at this as an alignment and those particular players as an alignment. Everybody on the scene. You see what I'm saying? Everybody on the scene, even Fox, CNN. When you're looking at this stuff, even with the two conventions, these are summits and these are spirits convening. Not the physical spirits that you see, but for everything you see down is going on, there's some spiritual things that's happening in the spiritual aspect as far as these summits or these things that's like, including the Olympics that we're going to get into. It's like, in order for certain ceremonies to go on in the dimension that you don't see, they have to put on certain events, certain summits, certain conventions. The Olympics. You understand where I'm coming from here? And you are looking at this stuff literally and getting into the political aspect of it, getting into the racial aspect of it. You see what I'm saying? Getting into the economical aspect of it, and you're missing what is it? There's something happening spiritual. Are you getting where I'm coming from? And that's what we have to go into today. You see. So while that was happening, this entity, Baron Samedi, was rising up. You see what I'm saying? That's why I have on the hat to commemorate that. Which the hat is a gateway to another dimension. We'll get into that also. It's a gateway to another dimension. And I had to go get 7 hats, or 7 top hats, until I got the actual one that was the one that was in fashion in the 1800s when the vision of this particular deity was conceived by the Voodoo crew, mainly in New Orleans. Because the one in Haiti is the conceptual, that's the concept of the Baron Samedi. He was mostly dressed like a Jesuit priest in the pictures we have, the early ones. But the concept of the American tradition, which was the top hat, that black people revered for one reason. Why did black people love the top hat so much? Anybody can tell me? Abraham Lincoln wore the top hat. And whether you might think of what Abraham Lincoln really thought in his mind, he was the great emancipation to the minds of the people. It has nothing to do, you see, with the players on the scene of the political things to get it there. It only has to do with the outcome of what the people go through when they receive the energy or they receive the actual symbol. You get where I'm coming from here? So we're going, and you know, so we're getting down with all of that. And it's not by mistake that the top hat is worn. Barack Obama going to have a top hat when he gets inaugurated on the 20th of January. You see what I'm saying? And the worshipful master in the Masonic Lodge has to wear the top hat. See what I'm saying? We're going to get into the barons of the people with the top hat. That's why you see Duke Ellington with the top hat. You see what I'm saying? You get it? Now one man, as crazy as he is, transformed the whole network the last 4 years or 5 years because he wears a top hat. I'm talking about Flavor Flav. Yes. You said that ignorant shit? No. The Joker is essential in the mysteries. The Joker, the court gesture. The Joker is in the tarot deck. The Joker is in the playing cards. You see what I'm saying? When this man rose up, the Joker was doing his last goodbyes on the Batman series, which saved the... How many times can you jump off a building with a rope? His leisure saved the series at least for another run. And the performance of Heath Ledger, you see what I'm saying, was at a level till he went to go visit Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson said, be very careful. You might not be able to get out of the road. Because he had to go through what he went through. There's a spirit behind that. So as you know, in order for them to top Jack Nicholson's performance, that meant that Heath Ledger has to be Jack Nicholson to the 25th power. And he couldn't get out of the road. And the drugs increased. And that's why he died. He couldn't get out of that road. But if you look at the movie, it was the performance of a lifetime. Shit, that's all was in the movie. You see, and he was telling people, look, don't be no penny ante crook. The people that you're fighting against are the same crooks. Let's take this to the next level. He was talking about change. He brought up the damn money in the movie. It was a powerful scene. So we're gonna go into all of that. We're gonna go. So what it was is we had so I had to go through 7 top hats. Did three lectures, and each one had to be a top hat. But obviously, for some reason, they said we're going to push this lecture back to after the election, and as a result, I had to get the actual top hat that they wore at the particular time when this particular entity was being conceived in the spirit world. You see what I'm saying? I'm going ahead of myself. I'm going ahead of myself, but you didn't ever see me wear no hat and no thing, because I tell you, there's certain clothes I got to wear, I look like a mass murderer. You're never going to see me in no jeans and sneakers and stuff, because I look like somebody that say, you want to come up and see my pet spider? So, you got to know what fits you. If you ever see me in a warm-up suit, you be like, look, you need to get the fucking children. Certain things fit certain people. You see what I'm saying? Certain things, and as I gained weight, I knew damn well I couldn't be masquerading around in some little fucking tight-ass jeans. Now, brothers, they got a lot of brothers out here that can't get women for some reason. We got 100. They say that they got 60 or 70% of black women can't find no man. And Negroes that walk around and say, man, I sure need a girlfriend. First of all, maybe it's your clothes you wear. Maybe you look like a mass murderer in your shit. Maybe you just don't look trustworthy. You sit in that too little shirt. You know what I'm saying? With the pen, with the writing pen stuck in your little pocket here. You see them looking like you from Tool Time or some shit like that. Maybe you need to change your appearance. If a woman has to spend hours grooming herself, what makes you think that you're exempt from that process? You see what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to make here is maybe you need to change your gear. You see what I'm saying? So I have to wear expensive clothes because I know that cheap shit make me look like I'm getting ready to saw off a Biddy's head or a bird head. Okay. Now another thing I need to clear up, because the brother brought me from the airport was asking all these questions about certain things on my videos. And I answered all the questions. He said, I need to ask you this thing here about one of the videos. One brother asked me to ask you, can you explain how you shit aliens out of your asshole, out your ass? He was saying, can you explain how you shit aliens out your ass? I said, I never said nothing shouldn't know aliens. But you know the experience that you get when they do it in the first grade. They ask you a question and tell you to repeat it, and by the time you get this back in the class, it's totally different. So obviously this stuff was going on till whatever I said, it ended up being interpreted as Bobby said he shit aliens out here.
Might have been a misinterpretation of experiment pregnancy or something.
I know what it was from. But how did it get to Bobby? Shit's aliens out his ass. So I just say, okay, now, what I want to show right quick, before we get into things, to show you the proof of things. This picture, and this picture, I showed you the last time I came. I showed this picture, Exhibit A, light man. That's the one to say off. I'm going to show you 3 pictures. This picture was done by the artist who was the artist or the concept man of the movie Dark Crystal. Anybody saw Dark Crystal? Yeah. Anybody living? Listen. Nobody never saw Dark Crystal. How many people saw Dark Crystal? Raise your hand. It's a children's movie, but it took them 5 years to make it. I think the guy named is Gary Kurtz, which was the original producer of Star Wars. Before, what's my man name? Star Wars. Before George Lucas could produce the next ones, produce and direct the first ones, he had to convince the movie studios to have him make this movie, to let him make this movie, so he had to have a producer. That producer, I name is Gary Cates or Gary Kurtz. He produced Star Wars, the first Star Wars, but he also produced Dark Crystal with Jim Henson, who in this particular time was the person who was the now brother. Now what you got to do, brother? You got a little more work to do. You see that little knob right there? You got to know that. Yeah, that knob you got your hand on. You got to turn it till it comes in focus. Is that good enough? Let me see. Back or forward. That's good enough. Y'all get the concept. So that movie was done 5 years, and also Frank Oz worked on. You know who Frank Oz is? That's the voice of Yoda. That's the voice of Yoda, and he's in a lot of John Landis movies. That's the voice of Yoda. So my point here, this is a very serious work that went into the movie Dark Crystal. I'll let you get the movie, because I don't have to go through the movie. I want you to get the movie and watch the movie. Very great mythological story. Now, this is a regular tarot deck later on conceived by the same artist, and this is called the Spirit of the Singers of Healing. And the last time I came, I talked about this. But I put other tarot cards. But I talked about this Singers of Healing. Okay? But this is one, I told you that this is one that came that if you get a hold of this, it can heal. So as a result, after I came to you back in March and told about the Singers of Healing, and later on, I think it was in June or July, one of those times, the sister had to go, one sister had to go and take this to her sister. I think I mailed it to her sister. She put it over the bed, and the sister's cancer went into remission. Now, I want you to cut the lights back on. Somebody, anybody, give me a light, man. I think it's the top button. Okay. Now, I went to Detroit, and I did a lecture. And I told him that one of the reasons why I didn't have this for sale is because I didn't think that this would do as well if it was in black and white. But the Spirit assured me that yes, it can work just as good in black and white. So I produced these, went to Detroit, sold some. I had another lecture in this was the first of this month, 1st of October. Had another lecture the very next week in Cleveland. So to let me know that this stuff spiritually works, because a lot of people have problems with stuff that they don't see, I'm getting ready to show you something that is evidence and is proof of the Spirit. Y'all all right? Yeah. We're going to show you something that started happening mysteriously right after Katrina. I'm going to show you the evidence of the Spirit. So, first I'm going to show you that on this wall, right here, is the Singers of Healing. Put that up, Exhibit A. Then I'm going to show you after I activated it in a lecture in Detroit, what happened the very next week when I went to go re-up on the photographs at Office Depot or Office Max or what have you. Get more copies. Now, one thing happens when you understand the copy machine. The copy machine scans the copy, then it duplicates what it scans. Everybody clear on that? So it scans the copy, then it starts spitting out or duplicate what it scans. Okay? So when I went to get the Singers of Healing, and I wish I could have put this on overlay, but we'll put it on the camera. This is what happened. You see these white lines, these squiggly lines? Well, one could argue, well, that's just something that happened with the malfunction of the copy machine. But if it scans it, if it scanned the first one, that means if it scanned it and it's not scanning anymore, it's just giving copies of what it scanned, that means that the next picture has to be identically the same because it only scanned one time. You understand that? Okay, so why is it that the very next picture is completely different? See how it shifted? See how it shifted? It's completely different. And why is it? See if I can find some more of it. I got a whole pack of these things. They said we want to show you a lot of them. Okay. Why is it that the very next picture, another picture is completely different off of the same scan?
Can't see over here.
After the same scan. I'll show you another one. You got that one. I wish I could put this on over, but you know, time don't permit things. You know how it goes. You know. And the other one is different. This one here even separated with two. You seeing it? You can, if you want to see the proof, we'll put it on the camera. It's even separated. My point here is, why would you have every different picture different off of the first scan? If it was one malfunction, then all it would scan the same image. You see what I'm saying? That can only happen if there's some type of entity or some type of spirit, you see what I'm saying, manifesting in the copy machine. I'll show you another one. Y'all all right? Yeah. This particular one, I got it. I have it on overlay. Yup, I have it on overlay. I have it on overlay. The picture, one of these pictures is a picture of a statue a statue of an altar of the goddess Terra. The goddess Terra. The altar of the goddess Terra. I have the actual overlays, but we don't have enough time to be cutting on the pictures and stuff. I'll do it after the break. We're gonna go back over some of these after the break, but I want to show you this. Look at this picture of the goddess Terra. This is a Buddhist picture of something that may be a couple thousand years old, of early Buddhism. This is the goddess Terra. Terra is one of the goddesses that, as this Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara in the Buddhist aspect of Tibet, he goes so high up into his spirituality, that the only next step he can do is transform into a woman. Into a woman. You see, they were saying that's the last final step of his journey. You see what I'm saying? And so that's Tara. Same thing happened with Avalokiteshvara in Asia. He transforms into Kuan Yin. So this particular statue here, I had to go to the University of Chicago, get a book that's about 20 years old, cost me maybe $150. But there's a reason why I paid for this stuff. Because we probably will never see this, because this is private collection of some things. And just to get this is worth $100, because they say, and this is another one that comes with the set. But I showed people this back in 2006 of Tara, the goddess Tara. But this one is one that the Spirit just told me to produce at the 1st of October. And lo and behold, when I went to the copy machine the next week, see if I have one. The next week, when I went to the copy machine, see if I got it, some other ones right here. It did the same thing. It started producing multiple copies. Now this is off of the same copy now. Multiple copies. It's over on this side, and right, it's over on this side of the same altar. So what this means is this. So you say, what does this mean? Well, if I can prove to you that there's spirits in these objects, and we can answer the million-year-old question on why we built different temples, different statues, you see them things, and different things in the ancient world, and why the people that make government for you, if you go to Washington, D.C., it is a museum of what? Statues all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? Now, which is nothing but more science. Now, the point I'm trying to make here is, if this can be produced after I activated it, it means that anybody that get their hands on those sales of spirits and that Tara altar, you in business. That means that you will be able to, the singer of healing, you'll be able to heal what you want to heal because it's already activated. So what it means is I pull something through from another dimension, and it is dwelling now in these pictures. Now the other people that get their hands on this one, this altar here is for everything. Prosperity, healing, you see what I'm saying? Making your nature rise, whatever your idiosyncrasies or your problems are, this is the one you need for thousands of years, because what we have done, we're into our technology. That's why I tell you, we got to get out of this conspiracy shit, because you're paying more attention, you understand what I'm saying, to the elite rulers' agenda than your own agenda. They say, no, just keep them in fear as long as they don't turn to their own magic. See what I'm saying? You get where I'm coming from? Now I'm telling you stuff that is now, because what we're dealing with now, I've been in this thing for over 20 years. And there's thousands of data that we have dealt with, everything from the deepest research, the deepest recesses of Aleister Crowley, Golden Dawn Society, you name it, from chaos magic, you see what I'm saying, to any kind of thing on the planet, you best believe I dabble with it. You see what I'm saying? And the point I'm trying to make here is, out of all the research, there has to be breakthroughs where this shit starts to work for you. You understand what I'm saying? So I've done the homework to the particular point whereas I can manifest it to the level where we can call on these spirits, and these spirits come through to the particular point that now you can buy a picture and get the energy from those particular spirits. You say, well, how do you do that? Well, number one, you say, why this didn't happen before? These things have been around for thousands of years. A lot of times it's because the simple fact they were just asleep. They were in a dormant level. And based on the astrological sequences of 2012, which is now, the power of now, this stuff starts to work because it's now. As long as you don't look for a stupid date of 2012. If you get to 2012, 4 years from now, you're going to be highly disappointed, just like Y2K. Because the future is never in the future. The future is always now. Get Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. Even Oprah had him on her show. And I used to tell people in the 90s, if I give you an object to look for 9 years away, I have eliminated the process of your life within that space of where you are 9 years from the point of you looking for that particular object. Because that object of 9 years away is happening now. Anybody ever see The Initiate? He goes on a journey. He gets to the end of the rainbow and there's a pot of gold. And he said, well, listen, I don't feel what I thought I would feel with the pot of gold. They said the pot of gold is just the trinkets. It was the journey which was the juice and was the treasure. It was the journey the whole time. Some people are so busy looking for money and looking for finances until we don't even recognize the time around us. You see what I'm saying? You know, you're worried about money. And while you're worried about money, you might bite into an ice cream cone. And your mind says, damn, that shit is good. And what you don't realize, that is the moment. You see what I'm saying? It had nothing to do with monetary. The moment was how good that ice cream was that took you by surprise.
That's right.
You've been eating it since you was a baby. Why the hell this particular time this ice cream was so good? You ever drank some juice or something and it'd be so cold and so good you go, oh shit. That's the moment. But you don't experience the moment because your agenda is somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? So that's the same thing that's happening with this fear, with this conspiracy stuff. You on somebody else's agenda and they want you to be on their agenda. You see what I'm saying? They want you to be on their agenda. You need to cut off that and don't worry about his agenda. His agenda is to keep you in the fear. They said we can never have to produce concentration camps. We never have to do any of that stuff as long as we keep them in fear. You get it? And fear shuts down the melanin, shuts down the metabolism, shuts down everything. You see? And so as a result, we done made fear a religion. Oh, we love it. Oh yeah, they're gonna do this to us. They're gonna do that to us. And we get off on that. Oh yeah, what they gonna do next? Oh, well, they got all kind of little shit in the telephone. And, oh yeah, she'll fuck your ass. You can have some more babies. And we get into that. Like that song, A Wretch Like Me. What kind of shit is that? A wretch, you know. Oh, how sweet the song, A Wretch Like Me. And you get into being the wretch. But what about being the God? What about being the magician? You see? They got this white guy. Mother was a missionary in Haiti. So he grew up in Haiti. So he initiated in some voodoo rites. Wrote the book, The Voodoo Gnostic Workbook. You know what I heard the book? The Voodoo Gnostic Workbook has been out of print since 93, and it just came back in print last year. And there's a part in there where he talks about the so-called Illuminati and all these conspirators. What's the guy named? Michael Beltu or Mikey Bertier, but it's spelled Beltu. They got a copy of it on the table out there. Big thick book, Voodoo Gnostic Workbook. And this guy in the book, because his mother was French, he's talking about the Illuminati and all these particular groups, and you can spend your life talking about them and never meet them, never know what they are, because guess what? The Illuminati is an old name. They don't even go up under that now. You see what I'm saying? In the 90s, it was a Tavistock program. In the 2000s, so you never really get into that. It's like the Boule, the Black Negro Boule. The only reason why one of the guys wrote the book on the Negro Boule and put it out is because they're not called that anymore. So they constantly keep changing the name, and you dealing with the old stuff trying to identify with Illuminati. These are generic terms now. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what they are. But he did say this about those secret societies. He said, may let it be known. It's in that Voodoo Gnostic Workbook. And he said, let it be known that they are only afraid of one thing. They're not afraid of a standing army, because they figure they got a better army than yours, and your 4 or 5 guys with machine guns. They're not afraid of anything, nothing economical, and nothing you come out your damn mouth. You see, you got the right to be something. They're not afraid of it. They're only afraid of the high, he called it Yugoth magic. Yugoth is a term that was put together by H.P. Lovecraft in the so-called Necronomicon or the Cthulhu mythos. He said the Yugoth culture, which is talking about your magic, your modern magic. He said that's the only thing that they're concerned about is your magic. He said, well, I guess they got their work to do and we have ours. Which meant we don't even concern ourselves with their agenda. And that's what's happening with us. We have made their agenda our religion. You see what I'm saying? And the great teacher C. Freeman L. told me this before, the one that just passed in March. And we were sitting around our office, which was Starbucks downtown Atlanta. Talking about the Illuminati and all that, and he looked at me, and I thought he was crazy when he said it. He said, why concern yourself about shit you can't do nothing about? See what I'm saying? We just counted up some money to get us a cup of coffee, and the people you talk about live in goddamn Iceland. You can't do nothing about it. So that means that you are preoccupying yourself on somebody else's agenda. You all right? Okay, let's go into libation. Let's give God some of theirs. Give God some of theirs. Now it's interesting here. I will show this last one. Now I've been selling this one since 2004. This is the goddess Lakshmi, which is the goddess of wealth and prosperity. I sold more pieces of this than I sold anything. Black people are like, oh, that's some shit to get us money. I sold more of these than anything. The only problem was, some of these people was putting this thing on their wall, and she was coming and hooking them up. I just called, oh brother, I just put this Lakshmi up, and she broke me off something, so I'm going to send you something in the mail. A lot of people didn't send me something in the mail, but for some, the prosperity happened. You see, some people say it didn't work for me. I said, you didn't clean your house. You nasty. She said the instruction is clean your damn house. You see what I'm saying? Clean your house. She's not going to come with no greasy ass stove. You think you're cleaning and mopping sometime, and I swear, no. Clean that grease off the fucking stove. Especially you vegetarians. I was one for 5 years. That tofu make the hell out some grease. Especially if you want to fry it, it tastes like chicken. You gotta fry it hard like that. You should know all about that. I mastered that tofu. Nevertheless, I sold thousands of this Lakshmi. I sold thousands of this Lakshmi. Now maybe that might be some spirit stuff when that brother told me, can you tell me how you shit aliens out your ass? Maybe next week I might shit an alien out my ass. Maybe that might have been a prophecy. Might be a prophecy. I'll keep you notice though. I keep you notice. Now I'm going to wait till I have to say it. I don't want to call and they say, well, Bobby Hemmitt has shitted an alien out his ass, and then the alien fucked around and died. And we all know that nigga was lying. That nigga was lying. Only alien he shit out his ass was Leroy down the street. So I'll wait. If it does happen, I'll make sure I nurture it. You see. And then I'll get the camera and all, and you can see the little whatever. Y'all be like, nah, that ain't nothing, them old space monkeys all from the back of college. You make all kind of excuses. Until you shit out of alien out your ass. Now, lo and behold, to let you know this stuff was spirit, on October the 16th, I think all the way up until December, the Diwali festival that they worship in India, which is equivalent to Christmas, New Year's, and the 4th of July all wrapped into one. This was the biggest day in India. They worship the goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity, and the goddess of beauty. You see what I'm saying? They also, black folks worship it down in Trinidad. All of them get down with the Diwali festival because, the British sent the East Indians as overseers down there about 100 years ago, and they started bumping and grinding. The next thing you know, they got a East Indian black race down there. They got a 50-foot statue of the god Hemmitt, the monkey god, that is celebrated throughout all Asia, which Barack Obama used to get in the White House. Illuminati might have been up in there, but he was traveling with Hemmitt, the monkey god. Barack Obama got a tattoo of Hemmitt on him, the monkey god. So if this nigga if he was half-hearted and he wasn't the right person, the monkey god wouldn't have messed with him. That's that on the spirit world. If he was a conspirator and wasn't on the up and up, he wouldn't have got no help from the monkey god. You understand? As a matter of fact, the monkey god would have did anything to block that. This is it. We're going to get into this in a few minutes. Now, but anyway, the Diwali festival is one of the greatest days, and it's going on right now. And it started on the 16th of October. I did a lecture, I think, on the 18th, and lo and behold, this old picture that I've been using for 4 years, she even came through the Xerox machine.
Let me get that, Bob.
The Xerox machine to let me know that she was activated. So anybody wants some prosperity, you need to get up with the ones who don't have this one. How many people got this? The ones who don't have it, you need to get up on this prosperity. She even came. Now guess what? This one and this God blessed that you couldn't even identify. He came with so much stuff on him until he just completely just blocked out the picture. I didn't get a chance to even make any of these. But this one and that God blessed was done down in Atlanta. It was done from a different Xerox machine. So how is it? Not only that I proved that it was a different thing, this one here I proved that it was a different spirit. This one came from a copy machine that wasn't even malfunctioning in another state. You see, so this means that this is activated. So I have some of these also. Y'all all right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, since like I said, so I'm holding this. I had a big one, but I said, no, let me just bring this one. Because this is 100. This is okay, now let me see now. It's called overproof. Let's see. So I'm an expert on this. It says 40%. It says 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. All right, I'm an expert on that. The other one is so this one is 63% alcohol by volume. 3 and 3 is 6. 60 and 60 is what? 120. Right? So that means that would be this would be 180 proof by volume. Now I want to get the math right now. 63% double is what? 63 times 63 is what?
126.
126. Okay, I want to get that right. 126. 63. Yeah, 126. So this is 126 proof. All right? Not bad. So now we do know the one that really gets going, and Brother Panic turned me on to that one, is Devil Springs vodka. Anybody get down with that?
Get down.
I mean, I put that with Shiva, and Shiva, Hanuman, Vishnu, Ganesh, and them lost their damn mind, and they drank it in one day. That's called Devil Springs. Well, how many proof?
160.
160 proof vodka. Now this is Ray and nephew overproof rum. So I bought the big bottle, and after I bought the big bottle, I looked up, I said, oh, that's the shit from Jamaica that I just saw on the Travel Channel. And I bought it was $6. I said, this is all I have to bring here today. You see what I'm saying? So I won't even get into my other stash. I'll take that back to Atlanta with me. This is all I need right now for them is this overproof and stuff. This is some good, powerful stuff, and they love it. Now you don't have to drink, but at least get the God some of this stuff. You see what I'm saying? They love it. You see what I'm saying? So let's pour libations. We're going to start off with Baron Samedi. Ashe. His wife, Brigitte. Ashe. Brigitte is one of the few mysterious beings. She's worshipped by European witches and in Ireland, but she's also the god of the dead of the Voodoo and Underground wife. You see what I'm saying? Very interesting here. So, Brigitte. Ashe. Nephilim. Ashe. Aset. Ashe. Zarabanda. Ashe. Terra. Ashe. Marie Laveau. Ashe. This is a picture of Marie Laveau, sisters. This is a picture of Marie Laveau invoking a big, black, muscular spirit. So she said that anybody buy this, if you need you a man, get this and put it in your house. You see what I'm saying? And the brothers will come. I sold half of them in Detroit. But then she came back and she said, no, the sisters will come also. Because some brothers need some help. Like I told the brothers, you don't need a miracle. You just need to change your goddamn clothes. Get you some funky gear. You see what I'm saying? But this is when she's invoking a spirit. So if anybody interested in the love affair thing, get with this right here, this Marie Laveau picture. And you see that spirit right there, big black bald head Negro right there? You see what I'm saying? You see? And this is one she also, so these spirit words, they come through, they say do this and give to the people, so and so, they come through. So that's what we're working in now. We have tapped into the spirit world 24 hours a day. So I've given data for the last 20 years. Now I live in that particular realm. I live in that realm. Y'all all right? Yeah. So I'm coming to you with the alternative. I ain't got time to waste with your fear and what's going to happen to you. You see, and the Barack Obama thing is just a symbol of that realm totally risen. That's all it is. You get into the politics of this shit, you're going to be disappointed. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're going to be disappointed. It's the spirit aspect of what that ushers in. You see what I'm saying? For everybody, because the entire world, anytime you see white Germans turn out like he's a rock star in Germany. See what I'm saying? That means the whole globe is saying, look, we tired of this shit. Ethiopians, I could put to an Ethiopian shop, they got a newspaper, it's all in Amharic, but they got 1,000 pictures of Obama. You see what I'm saying? And one sister said this. She said, well, it's good he was born and raised off the mainland in Hawaii by white grandparents. That means he didn't have to go through the Willie Lynch chip. He don't come with the Willie Lynch chip. You see, you might have some psychological conditioning with your ass. Not gonna be all the shit they was putting on this nigga in the primaries. I would have had to cut somebody out. I got him with You know, he got the Willie Lynch chip. What the fuck did you say? You see what I'm saying? But it fucked him up because he was from another origin. He didn't come with the Willie Lynch chip. His black experience happened within the last 25 years when he got to the mainland in Chicago. You see what I'm saying? Now, he was well adept at the bullshit we about now. Don't let nobody fool you now. You see what I'm saying? He know it. He said, I've been called worse names on the basketball court. But my point is his breeding. The point when he was reared, he didn't come with the Willie Lynch chip. You see what I'm saying? You might say, oh, I graduated summa cum laude from Yale. But psychologically, it might be some stuff. You see what I'm saying?
That's true. That's
You might be on a rally saying, look, I'm getting ready to kick off him your ass. You see? So my point here is, and when the Africans and the Caribbean and everybody else look at him, you see what I'm saying? He doesn't fit a certain category. You understand what I'm saying? That makes him identified to a certain group.
Right. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And it's just like the white comedian came and said, now goddamn it, y'all took Halle Berry, but hell, we're not gonna let you take him this time. This motherfucker half white. And we let y'all take Halle Berry, goddamn it. This time, we putting some claims up in this shit too. You see what I'm saying? So what this thing was actually saying here is, whether this is something that came to us this time, you see what I'm saying, that you can't identify totally. You see, it's something that belongs to everybody. You see what I'm saying? So it was the right candidate. You see some smooth shit that went down. You see what I'm saying? But that's the way the spirit world works. That's that chameleon. That's that court gesture. That's that joker. You understand what's going on? So let's put some more libations. Zarabanda. How did they offer? How did they do? Mama show us. I said, teach them a way. Alfio Lucaya. Francisco Fienterera. Dennis Simone. Francisco Nico. Francisco Ray. Mama show us. Rilanda. I said, Orisha. Herusa. Nakupa. Kubelinda. Rizzi. Alma. Now Kuz. Keva, Shasha, Ana, Timberin, Nasa, Yase, Kalippa, Goatia, Cthulhu, Shanigua, Hashtag, Congo, Adela, Nilito, Nila Otep, Mayat, Sachet, Saket, Jim, Kimu, Butcher, Kadu, Kali, Kalima, Vishnu, Shakti, Kundalini, Yes, Butcher, Kadu, Sultan, Sitnubin, Satesh, Otita, Shuma, Kaboom, Nakama, Dokeo, Nakamo, Lamino, Ispa, Moses, Yoku, Mana, Titi, Yoga, Inmatu, Leviathan, Tiamat, let's see. Sebek, Tahuni, Ivory, Hermes, Hermanus, Ceres, Carabas, Lut, Hattie, Rahachuit, Hamachuit, Hamatis, Ba, Na, Amru. I guess that could be good enough for right now. Good enough for right now. We're going to give a big shout out. Let's see if anybody up here. We're going to give a big shout out to a Baron, Duke Ellington. Big shout out to Sun Ra. Sun Ra, which is the brother that you get the documentary that came on PBS back in 2006. George Clinton admitted that they got the style and everything that they did with the Parliament from Sun Ra, as far as the look. Now, anybody ever listen to Sun Ra, you can only listen to him if you are a musician. If you're not a musician, I don't advise you to get no goddamn Sun Ra. Listen stuff from Mars, Jupiter, Venus. It really had to synthesize his ass down here on the mundane realm. You see what I'm saying? But there's a documentary called Sun Ra, A Joyful Noise. And in there he talks about, you've tried all your politics, you've tried all your economics, now you're going to have to deal with what he called mythonomics, talking about the ancient mythology and what it deals with and how you're going to line your life up with the ancient mythology. And he drops all of that in the whole concept. Very key. Y'all all right? Yeah. Now let's just get into a few things on the conspiracy level, but I promise you I will not give you a conspiracy level until I give you the counter. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to scare you up, you see, and then leave you hanging. Ride you hard and put your ass up wet. Well, as the gay people say, I'm not going to leave you out giving you the reach around. Not based on experience on my part. I just heard that through the. I'm talking now. They got a lot of them gay boys down there. So you disrespect. You didn't even give me the reach around. Now, for you people don't know what that is, let somebody out there whisper in your ear with that. Yeah. So, okay. So let's go into this. Somebody get me some water. They got go outside or someplace and see if they got some water somewhere. You see. Yeah, okay, brother. You a soldier already. Put them to use. Yes, yeah. I need to know your number when my fucking phone bill cut off. All right. Okay. As you know, on February, when is it going to be when your cable box or your TV won't work no more? February 17th, you will no longer get no signals from your jive ass rabbit ears. Now you know the only people in America that's still dealing with rabbit ears is 3 people, old black people, trailer park white folks. You see what I'm saying? And black people who done had their goddamn cable cut off. Everybody else is pretty much secure. So they're concerned about that 2% that ain't pulled themselves into the 21st century. You see what I'm saying? To get with this. And the key is, you gotta go get a movie called The Signal.
Oh, we saw that.
You gotta get it at Blockbuster or rent it. It's called The Signal. It's called The Signal.
That was funny.
Now, I promise you I won't give you nothing that's terrifying and I don't give you the counterpart on how we counter that stuff. Y'all alright? Okay. Want to get something called The Signal. Now the movie The Signal is a movie about, they send a signal through the cable box, the radio, and the radio, the cable box, and the telephone, which all, might I add, is now digital. Because it's all in the wiring. It's not in the box. It's in the band. Get the movie Ancestral. It's not in the box. It's in the band. They put wideband and wide you digitally from 99 on in. You understand what I'm saying? So now, they send this signal and people start killing each other. Alright? Killing each other. One girl didn't get the signal because her friend tried to kill her and she ran in the closet and hid. And when she got out, she didn't get the signal. And for some reason, this black guy stayed up through it all and he didn't get the signal, but they finally wore his ass down. A few, huh? Huh?
There's an 8-year-old kid in, who was that? 8-year-old kid just got committed murder, killed his father.
Okay, let me explain. Alright. Now, when you're watching these movies, you have to put these movies together. They'll make a movie and it'll be 3 movies, and if you don't put them together, you see what I'm saying? They'll just be entertainment. They'll tell a complete story. So The Signal came out at the end of 2007, and it came straight to video by 2000. It came to video by the first of 2008. And I figured maybe one day this miracle might happen, because I knew if I said, well, dang, I said I'm gonna miss Miss Rosalind Jeffries, because I figured that I wasn't going to Harlem. Last time I saw her was last year in Harlem. I said, oh, she don't come to Brooklyn. So there's a great miracle happen, because the sisters here, Miss Rosalind Jeffries, I want y'all to give her a black hand. One of our griots, you see, one of our griots and one of our people in the struggle for many years. So that's, Obama has already done something, you see what I'm saying, of bringing us together. Some people are able to cross on into Brooklyn. But anyway, you got to put these movies together. So you have The Signal, where they're killing all these people. Then you got to get M. Night Shyamalan's The Happening, which everybody start killing each other. And although you're thinking it's the trees, it starts out of where? Philadelphia. So here is a movie. The Signal is supposed to be a future event based on the cable. Another movie is supposed to be fictional, but M. Night Shyamalan, but they give you the place, Philadelphia. They give you the place in Philadelphia. So what's happening here is they give you a clue on how Philadelphia recently in the last 4 years became Philadelphia. They're just murdering up people. You see what I'm saying? And that's based on the signal technology. Where they can shoot through your cable box and do all this type of stuff. So as a result, they decided, was there no water in the building? The brother went out there, he must be having problems. Because I didn't want the brother to miss the damn lecture. You see. But anyway, anybody got an unopened bottle? I don't want to mess around, you see what I'm saying? Come down with a damn cough and be done fucked around. Both of these unopened? I'm taking both of them. I can use both of them. You see. We'll come down with a damn cough and the next thing I know,
You're going to come back with the water.
nigga got some rickets or some chronic plague or what have you. So anyway,
Go pay the rent.
the key here is what has happened in Philadelphia occurred through some type of signal. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to get that particular movement because that's what they're dealing with when they want to put this cable box. But this is the counter aspect of that. First of all, you are not affected by it. I'm talking about your consciousness. Your conscious level, if you're operating above the heart chakra, most people that's conscious, most people that's unconscious, okay, is operating, oh yeah, shoot, I got enough now. Okay, you went down to the store or something, brother? Okay, you all right, brother. You all right, shoot.
Take one to know one, my brother.
Yeah, you talented. I'm gonna damn sure call your ass up. At the end of the month. You got a good job, brother? I need to know. Oh, you retired. All right, but anyway. So they got this stuff that's happening with this whole digital thing and with this whole cable thing that's coming up on February the 17th. Now to counter that, this is what's happening. Number one, this would only affect the people that was non-conscious. But let me let you in on another aspect of what is happening to the people that are deaf, dumb, and blind or asleep. Let me piggyback off that. Well, let me go into the counter aspect. I was watching Coast to Coast. Somebody called me and told me they were going to have some story about Aleister Crowley on Coast to Coast. So I turned it on. It was about Aleister Crowley being a government spy for the British intelligence. Well, I was old news, I already knew that. You see what I'm saying? He worked to spy on Germany with the Britain, and the Britons had their magicians, and this whole occult war thing that went down. You see what I'm saying? And E.M. Fleming, the guy that wrote James Bond, was one of the people who was partners with Aleister Crowley. So that's all in that book, Government Agent 666. I think I got one on the on the thing. So anyway, I've heard this was old news to me, but the guy put out the book and he explained that. So they went to the news, and it was a national syndicated news, NPR or something, and they explained how Switzerland had a new toy called a particle accelerator, an atom smasher called Collider, and it was to detect dark matter and open up miniature black holes. I said, oh, well, what the hell? The occult people and the secret societies, scientists is always dabbling in this stuff. This is old news. Until I heard something and the red flag came up. But they said, but the United States of America went to court with them in January to keep them from cutting it on. And they had been in a battle from January to April. And the United States didn't want them to cut it on. I go, United States don't want them to cut it on. Now remember back in the 90s I was talking about they had anybody ever heard of a Breitling watch? You got Rolex, but the one off the chain is the Breitling. And the Breitling got a damn watch that if you any place on the planet and you pull this button on this watch, they will come and get your ass. They were selling this watch, maybe about $10,000 or $12,000. It's a watch, because Breitling original was a pilot watch. So they had a watch that if you in Iceland, if you in Madagascar and you pull this button out, a helicopter or a plane or whatever will come and get your ass wherever you are on the planet. Any place but the United States. Because the United States is a penal colony. You see, you can't just come up in the United States. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So what they sold the watch. They sold the watch everywhere but the United States. So I had to go get a little bootleg one down at Canal Street. Where the button, it kept the time, but the button wouldn't pull out. But I would go around the country and show people the watch and tell them if this was real, I could pull this button out and have a helicopter over here in a few minutes. But the one on Canal Street, they copied it, but they couldn't get that kind of technology. You see what I'm saying? So, but anyway, I was talking about this in the 90s. But now, they have legalized it.
That's right. That's right.
You can buy it now, because I was up in the mall one day, and I go, oh shit, that's the watch. They say, yeah, we can sell it now.
John Travolta advertised it.
Yeah, it's the bright one, the one where they can get you. So I do know that there's certain things. So the red flag went up when America said, no, we taking y'all to court because we don't want you to cut it on. And then they said they lost the court case, and they was gonna cut it on June the 7th, on August the 7th, the day before 888, the Olympics. Then they was gonna cut another portion on in October. Okay, so now they were gonna cut another portion on in October. But anyway, I said, oh, this reminds me of the Brightland thing. All the European and all the scientists from around the world is down with this program, but America is not. And America is saying, look, we got 100 million people under mind control. And mind control means that whatever you do, your routine has to be the same. Because if you do something different, you might shake up the confines of what holds you into your mind control. That's why you need to break up the monotony and go eat something that you normally don't eat. See what I'm saying? That you normally don't eat. See what I'm coming from here? So now, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about in a few minutes. So this collider, America lost the case. America lost the case. So I knew it worked because the day that the collider, they cut it on, the brother Rich, the brother Rich sent me $300. That's the brother who's putting on the lecture, him and Sinetta. And so he sent me the money in the mail. It got there on the 7th. I pick up the phone because he sent me some book, Think and Grow Rich. And I pick up the phone and proceed to go off on this man who just sent me $300. I went off on this man, I mean Kung Fu style, enraged, until about 10 or 15 minutes into the insanity, I woke up and said, oh shit. And I quite think he's probably saying, this Bobby Hemmitt is a crazy, deranged Negro. But then I realized, I said, wait, what's the date? Oh, the day is the 7th. That's the day they cut on the collider. And what this thing does is this. The pineal gland is also called a black dot. And it's a miniature black hole. And when they cut it on, the first people that get it is the conscious people. So I was sensitive to it. And anybody know anything about spiritual awakening? The first thing happens when you go through a spiritual awakening, there's a form of insanity that comes. And then after the insanity coincides, there's bliss. So in the middle of my bliss, I realized, oh shit, I done cursed this man out. I'm making no sense. But just so happened, I happened to call him the time that this thing opened up. You see what I'm saying? And it was some crazy shit. But anyway, I realized then, oh, this thing is working. Now this is the day before the 8th. The day before the 8th. Now, anybody saw the Olympics? The Olympic ceremony. I got it on tape. It used to be transferred to DVD. But if anybody saw this Olympic ceremony, it was the greatest ceremony of any Olympics. And they did mass rituals for 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. Mass rituals. One of the rituals they was doing was to the first emperor of the Qing dynasty, who brought all of the warring factions together, or the nations together, which later on becomes China. China is named after this first Qing emperor, whatever his name is. So they did an entire ritual to this particular first emperor. And then they had a woman to come out and open up the chi energy on the planet. See what I'm saying? And this was on 888. The next day, Bernie Mac died. The next day after that, Isaac Hayes died. Now stick with me, because I'm going to add all that up into this. You see what I'm saying? Isaac Hayes was with L. Ron Hubbard in them. You see what I'm saying? But we're going to get into some of that now. But anyway, what is the counter to? Now they said that the collider broke. I said that's bullshit. What it was is to keep people from talking and to keep other people, you see what I'm saying, from being concerned. They just told people that. You see. So this machine, if it opens up black holes, what this thing does is, and they were supposed to cut another faction on in October and keep it up and cut various parts of it on until 2012. But whatever this thing has done, I said, oh, this is going to open up the consciousness, you see what I'm saying, in all the dead people. You know what I'm saying? We got just a very minute few of people that's awake on the planet. That's in the movie Joe versus the Volcano. When Meg Ryan tells Tom Hanks, she said, my father says that everybody on the planet is asleep. And those ones that's awake is in constant amazement. You see what I'm saying? So I said, oh, this is going to be all the dead brothers and sisters. This is going to wake them up. That is why the United States was saying, went to court for them not to cut it on. Because this is the land of mind control. And they don't want no breakthroughs. You see what I'm saying? They don't want any breakthroughs. See how that whole thing goes down? So therefore, that's why they got, so if they find a pattern that you stuck in, like conspiracy, like fear, they want it to keep going on, so therefore you're not supposed to come with the good news. But the collider represents the good news. You see what I'm saying? Because whatever they was going to do with the converter box in February, the collider, you see what I'm saying, counters that. Now, another thing counters it is this. If you study the mythology, the god Shiva drinks the world's poison. And what that means is this. And also, Baron Samedi is now here. Hold on, we're going to get into that. Because, see, we're going to clear up this thing. Because, first of all, everybody's wearing skulls, and that's not the skull and bones. That was started by a black man. I got his name on the tape in Cleveland. It was started by a brother. Okay? The skulls everybody wearing. And now, until the rest of corporate America jumped down with it, got down with it. Nowadays in Walmart. They got a whole section in Walmart. So the skulls is good. See, everybody's trying, here goes some divine stuff that's happening. I'm going to go into what the skulls really mean, and you already attributed it to the Illuminati, and they had nothing to do with it. It's a spiritual phenomenon. You see what I'm saying? It's Night of the Living Dead. We're going to get into that. You see what I'm saying? That's the ancestors coming back. Now let's go in, so you see what I'm saying? But nevertheless, but going back to the collider is one of the things that's actually happening, and this is the other thing that's actually happening. Remember we was talking about chemtrails last 3-4 years. Last 8 years. Chemtrails. Well, Atlanta, Georgia, where I'm from, is the CDC, so all the experiments go on down there. You see what I'm saying? All the experiments go on down there. Now this is what happened. All of a sudden they just cut out the chemtrails this past summer. Had no chemtrails this past summer. Now, try to understand the mythology. Shiva, in the East Indian mythology, which is nothing but a form of Osiris and Horus combined, drinks the world's poison. Now, what does this mean? It means this, that in the 1950s, they used to take these bomb sites, and they would drop these bomb sites near some black community. You see what I'm saying? So let's say if out in Arizona, they might have a certain black settlement, they would drop these nuclear things, and they found out in the test that nothing ever happened to these brothers and sisters. They did the same thing that Jack Feller told you in Africa, and colonized Africa. They used to drop all this disease, and it never would mess with them, but it started killing off large numbers of the white settlers or the white colonizers, and they had to stop it. But they used to drop all these mass disease in the late 1800s in Africa, and it would never mess with them until Lyndon LaRue said in the 1960s they dropped 3, 4, 5 big boxes of sunglasses in the middle of Africa. And he said the black people started wearing the sunglasses, and he said before that they never was sick. Couldn't find nobody sick. And as soon as they dropped them sunglasses, the people started coming down the river sick. You see what I'm saying? When they dropped those sunglasses in Africa. You see. So now, the point here is this, with the chemtrails. They had to stop the chemtrails this summer, because they come find out here is, the first thing it does, it'll make a certain amount of people sick. And then the people get immune to it. And then the toxins start being converted into fuel. You remember Richard Pryor used to have the shit where he said a rat used to come out and go, hey man, when you gonna put some more decon rat poison out? They say Wednesday, okay Wednesday, we'll be back Wednesday. They come immune to it. So what is starting to happen here is they drop these chemtrails on these people for the last 15 years, and over the course of things, and it did damage people, but the youth and the younger people and the conscious people started becoming immune to it. And it started making fuel. So they can tell when you start jumping a little higher. Negroes at the doggone NBA All-Star game jumping from the free throw line with no shoes on. Jumping basketball with doggone Superman suits on. You see what I'm saying? So they can tell when stuff starts happening, not even to black people, but all kind of shit. The people all over the planet, they can tell when something jumps, and they can find a behavior that enhances. You see what I'm saying? So you see, yeah, we are the litmus test. It starts with us first, but every now and then the anomalies start happening to all kind of people. See what I'm saying? And they was like, wait a minute, these chemtrails are now being converted into the toxins are now being converted into fuel. So because you can drop something, it's all experiments. You see what I'm saying? You can drop something, but they say, when will this experiment happen? They say, well, we look at this Olympics, and then we see this guy down in Jamaica lapping sprinters. Now sprinters supposed to be a few feet apart. This guy's up ahead. You see, up ahead. So what this means is, it doesn't necessarily mean that this is based on the chemtrails they dropped in Jamaica. They probably don't have that. But what it means is, the reason why the chemtrails can be converted into fuel with you is because they're showing how the genetics is changing, or the DNA is changing. You understand what I'm saying? In a person from Jamaica. See where I'm coming from here? And they can monitor it. If it's changing in here, oh, this is why now the chemtrails is being converted into fuel. We dropped it on. If you have an environment where every day you come out and you drop the poison, and you don't get sick and die off, and you live through it, although it probably had multiple diseases and stuff that it did, but after a while you start becoming immune to it, and after a while it becomes your actual energy drinks. You remember in the movie Mars Attack, where they shot the nuclear stuff up there, and the Martians took it and sucked it up and got high off of it? You see what I'm saying? As if you know that any poison acts as a hallucinogenic on a higher level until you start taking more of it. Then it lessens. You understand what I'm saying? So my point here is, that's a form of the DNA changing. Y'all all right? You getting this? What's going on? I just wanted to give you a few things. Let me get my notes out so we can start the lecture. And yeah. Start the lecture. Now, did anybody hear this thing? Look at the camera. Is it on me? Yeah. I'm just gonna jump around a little. Did anybody hear this thing on the History Channel where they said it's documented that this part of the whole 5 boroughs of New York and this whole section before continental drift, which has been proven by scientists, the section of New York used to be a part of Morocco. Anybody heard this thing? So that means you've been home all along. That's what the Moors used to say. So you don't have to run any damn well. They said that this used to be a part of Morocco, which was interesting because the Montauk Indians of Montauk Point, Long Island said that this was one of the first places where humanity rose up. You see what I'm saying? In theory, several places around the earth is where humanity rose up, because it all used to be one landmass. But this particular part used to be Morocco. You see what I'm saying? So that's not just some crazy Moor with some fairs. That was the History Channel breaking some information that they knew. You see what I'm saying? That's very interesting. So, that's very interesting on how that. Let me tell you another thing. Just giving you a few things before the good news. We went to an Ethiopian shop. I think we was going into an Ethiopian restaurant. The guy said, no, I closed my restaurant. He said, I found out that I make more money as a butcher for the Ethiopian community. And he said, we're real big on, okay, go 5 minutes? Okay, he said, so they're real big on beef in Ethiopia. He said, but we've never had cancer on anything based on what a person ate. They just don't have it. They might get it if somebody get cut with something and it get gangrene, or cancer might come on various ways, but it's not based on somebody or stuff they ate. He said, we're real big on beef in Ethiopia. So I was like, so he started telling me this science. He said, I was needed to become a butcher. He said, what we do to the community, we'll go and buy a whole cow. And we will eat that cow within that week. All the people in the community. He said, so there ain't never no frozen meat, saved meat other than the initial freezing of the cow. He said, we got to get there early in the morning, because the whole concept here is you got to get the premium stuff. I'm just going into whatever. You eat what you want. I'm just saying, good thing I was a vegetarian for 5 years. That way I can talk about my gluttony now. You see what I'm saying? Because I've been on that side, so you can't tell me nothing that I don't know. You Mr. Proud bean sprout eaters. Anyway, he said, now this is what he said. He said, so in order to get the stuff that don't kill you, you got to get there early in the morning. He said, and that's when the big boys come. Sizzler, Steakhouse, baby, all the ones that sell the elite stuff. Now check out what he says now. He says, and then, after that morning rush, when the big boys come, he says, they got another part of cattle that come in, and this cattle be sick as dogs, falling down, sick, or what have you. Shaking, got the little thing. They said this cattle be just 2 steps away from dead. He said, and that's when the boys come in around 1 o'clock. Burger King, McDonald's, Checkers, Wendy's. And that's the beef they buy. They buy all the sick cows. So we don't know this because I never went to no auction like this on the premium stuff. He said, so after all the people get the real deal stuff clear out, then all the people, all the cows is, you know, and shit. He said that's when Burger King, McDonald's, all the ones tell you have it your way. He said they show up. It's saying that the only ones can buy this shit is the one that's into the business of ground beef. See what I'm saying? He's saying, so I don't care what you eat. You say, I don't buy the dollar burger at McDonald's, I always get the Big Mac. Well, no, all of it is made out of sick cows. I was telling you what, you know what, and it was spiritual how we showed up in there. And we sat there for a minute, and here go the spirit part. Normally Ethiopian brothers, they wouldn't take time with us. But they wanted to talk about who? Barack Obama. So therefore, they came and gave us the science. He said, you should never ever, whatever you do, eat no ground beef in this country. He said, for what we know. He said they got cows on stretchers. He said that's when McDonald's and all them come and say, give me that motherfucker right there with no cheese, no eyes, head cut off, yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to give you that. Y'all all right? Yeah. All right, now, for the people, don't go nowhere yet. Hold on, 1 minute. Just a few seconds, hold on. So let me, I just want to say a few things right quick before we go back into the lecture. We're going to get into the lecture when I come back. But anyway, a few other things. How many people have been keeping up with the HBO special True Blood? True Blood is about some serious shit going down with melanin, with the occult world, with demons, shape-shifting. They're dealing with it all. And the producer said, I put this together based on a study of shit that's happening in real life on the other realm. Real tight stuff is going on that movie is True Blood, but don't worry about it. I was able to get all the actual thing. They only got 3 more episodes for this season, so I'm going to have all of it because I've been taping them every Sunday, and I'm put them on DVD. So for the people that don't want it, we'll just shoot that back up here, and you can get this stuff. But there's a lot of information going on. We're going to get into some of that when we come back. But that's very interesting. There are a few other things I want to say right quick before we could do it now. A few other things. You've heard of Palo Manombe, which is probably some of the most powerful stuff. Now I only got 10 of these or 11 of these, so you're just going to have to, you know. But we had a brother, the brother that brought me to London, went and found a Palo priest in Switzerland. And stuff. You know, and he brought this guy to London and did a lot of rituals for the people in London. And so when I came over, he was telling me about that, and he shipped me some Palo music, ritual music, done in Spanish, whatever. So he had to get this stuff from across the water. So we got 2 versions, Musica Palo and the Mambos de Palo. We got about 11 copies of this stuff, so you need to take advantage of this particular stuff because it's very powerful to get into the whole ritual stuff, because we don't get a lot of stuff on Palo on this end. There's a lot of Palo practitioners, but they're outside of the black community, most of it in the Hispanic community. You see, so we got a language barrier that's going on. You see what I'm saying? That's going on. So we got to get stuff when we get stuff. Now the other thing is, there's some music of the Necronomicon. Anybody heard of H.P. Lovecraft Necronomicon? Well, they had these Halloween stores pop up all over America for a month. And they were selling this music for the Necronomicon. And they come on and they tell you about the great old ones who fell. They tell you about all, you've heard me talk about this stuff, Cthulhu and all that for years. So we got very rare versions of music of the Necronomicon. So I got 2 versions of the Apollo and 1 version. They're going for $10. They're going for $10. So each. So anybody want to take advantage of this before it run out? We got this type of stuff. A few other things I want to get down with. Now, we're going to go into this Baron Samedi, whose energy is on the planet. Is on the planet. So we're going to deal with this when we come back. This is an ancient altar that I had to pay $100 to get. So you would want to get a hold of this and you want to have some serious prosperity or some serious magic or whatever you want to do, you want to deal with that. And I'm quite sure because they saw this over Barack Obama in the future with Shango, you might want to get a hold of this. All this is $5. This is the one the sisters might want to snap up because this is the one, she came through the spirit realm and said, whoever put that in there, I can get them a man. So this is the real deal. Now this one is the ultimate healing that's already healed a terminally ill cancer patient. So you want to get a hold of this stuff works. And this is another part of the same goddess that thing is a part of. This is Sun Ra, which also got some magic, but this is also Lakshmi, which this cycle, we are in her cycle, so if you want prosperity, you want to get down with some of this. We talked about the Sun segment Nefertiti the last time. This is the dude with the top hat, but that's a part of the next part of the show. Part of the show, we still got a little bit of Isis ritual going down. So, but take advantage of these Baron Samedis. Especially this one, because the person who did this made the transition, and they did this in 2000, and it's very powerful of the Baron Samedi, which is that particular thing. So we're gonna get into the missions of the Baron Samedi. We're gonna get into the missions of the healing of the hat that already done hooked the brother up and didn't even know he needed hooked up, and the magic of that type of stuff. But we're gonna go to the break, then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start the lecture. I promise you.